All right, students. In the last video, we learned some vocabulary. The main word is is discrimination. Okay, and you also did homework. Yeah, just explaining different types of discrimination. Yeah, you know, you always try to learn more words related to that particular word. Okay, and also try to talk about it. Like for example, racial discrimination. You should be able to say a few words about racial discrimination. Or sexual discrimination, I just explained the LGBT, right? You should be able to explain it as well. So when you learn a word, try to go, one step ahead. Try to talk about this kind of words. You never know. You might have to talk about it in your life, to argue for someone. Yeah. So always, yeah, learn the meanings of the words, example sentences, and try to talk about that word, like as I said, disability discrimination. So what is disability discrimination? You try to define it, and then you give your opinions on disability discrimination, or you give an example, yeah, of this kind of discrimination. Yeah, so always try to develop yourself, try to equip with some more skills, yeah, that I use this word a lot, right? Expanding your knowledge. So expand your knowledge. Okay. All right. So that's about some vocabulary before we read the news article, and one or two pre-reading exercises. So this is a pre-reading exercise. I hope you can also work on it. Yeah. What is it? So we have the title. Yeah. We have an idea. What does this title talk about? Discrimination, maybe gender discrimination, and when it comes to wages, that is money, the money that you get paid by a company or by the government or by an institute. Yeah. So anyway, you earn money, right? The wages. All right. So try to talk about these terms. This is again a pre-reading exercise. Yeah. First, learn the terms, and try to give your opinions, or try to, your background knowledge that we talked about before. Yeah, what do you know about these terms? Yeah. So the first one is this: the gender wage gap. What do you know about this? When you don't know what to talk about, you can always think of the experience that you had, or maybe you heard from somebody, or you read something about this topic. So try to think of it. Yeah, that's how you recollect, or try to bring it on. The knowledge that you have about the topic. So gender, wage, now, and the gap. So what is the difference? What kind of gaps exist? Yeah, like I do the job. Like for example, I'm teaching. Yeah. I teach an hour, and then there's a woman who teaches an hour. Do we get the same pay? But the teaching job, I think yes. Yeah, there's no difference. Yeah, but there are a lot of other jobs, like working in a company, and the employees maybe they do the same job, but then they get different pay just because one person is man and the other person is women, right? So gender wage gap. What do you know about this? Yeah, say a few words, or you write it down. You always have two options, right? One is to write it down, and the other one is to speak up. But maybe for this exercise, you can write it down. What do you know about gender age gap? If you have something that you know, you can also write about it. Okay, that's number one. And number two, gender politics. Yes. So what do you know about gender politics? So it seems this article talks about some kind of politics as well. Yeah, gender politics. So yeah, say a few words about it. Let's see what you know about gender politics. Yeah, and then we have wage inequality. I think it should be, maybe it's just one word: inequality, wage inequality, just like wage gap. Yeah. And then the next one is women's wages are low, and men's wages are high. Right? Generally, that is the assumption. But how about in Taiwan? Do you think in Taiwan the women's wages are low? Yeah, do you think so, or do you think they get the same pay? And is there any discrimination? I mean, between men and women at the workplace? So what do you know about it? Again, say a few words about Taiwan, or if you know any ideas about the other countries. Yeah, do you know anything about the U.S. or any European countries, or Japan or Korea, or China? Yeah, have you heard any stories about the the wage gaps? Yeah. All right, and your own experience as well. Like, you might have done some part-time jobs, right? Being a student. All right, and then what percentage of women are there in the workforce? What do you know about it? Like in Taiwan, let's say there are 100 men working, and in the ratio, right? And then how about women? Out of 100 men, like, what do you think? What percentage of women are working? I think in Taiwan, the ratio between men and women and the workforce, yes. Then, I mean, if you know about it, you talk about it, you write about it. So I want you to answer some of these questions, and also some of these terms. I want you to explain or say or write what you know about these terms, okay? And then the next one is maternal leave, and that's a good word to learn as well. Maternal leave, how long you can take leave, like if you're carrying a baby, if you're pregnant, yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, you're working, you're having a job, but then you get pregnant, you get married and you get pregnant, and then how long you can take leave? Can you take leave for 6 months, or can you take leave for 2 months, or like how long a company can, how long you can take leave, and how long the company might pay you. That's more important. It's not just like taking leave, it's also about whether the company would pay you when you are on maternity leave. Like some countries, they pay the women, but then some countries maybe they don't pay, or also it's about how many months they pay. Maybe they pay for 2 months, but then the third month they have to get back to work. So there are a lot of issues related to maternal leave. Yeah, and then child care facilities. So this is also a problem for married women and or the mothers, right? Yeah, it says how to balance their time, taking care of the children and also working, like doing their job at the company or the place wherever they work. Yeah. So try to again write few sentences about these terms. So that I can check what kind of knowledge you have about these topics. Okay, so work on it. I want to see what you type about these terms. Okay, all right. So see you in the next video then. Thank you.